Today, we run the 332 route Roundtrip. The 332 basically runs from the Vista Transit Center eastbound, out Melrose Drive, circles through the Vista Business Park, then returns on Sycamore Avenue to the Buena Creek Sprinter Station. We will start the route in an eastbound direction. Begin in stall number 6. When it's time to go, check your mirrors and pull out of the stall. Proceed to the turnaround and make the U-turn on Olive. There's going to be a right turn coming up on Vista Village. Come to a complete stop behind the limit line. Always rock and roll in your seat and check your blind spots. Look left, right, and left again before making your turn. Walk your bus at 5 miles per hour around the turn. Look out for distracted pedestrians and expect the unexpected. For every major or fatal accident, there are 29 close calls and 300 unsafe acts. The only way to reduce the possibility of having an accident is to reduce the 300 unsafe acts. You may have some bad habits developed as a driver over time, but as a professional driver, you need to think of safety first. Reduce your unsafe behaviors, and you will reduce the risk and be safer. Remember, for every 300 unsafe acts, there are 29 close calls and 1 catastrophic event. There's going to be 1 stop along Vista Village to service before we cross over the 78 freeway. Here it is, services stop. Now as you pull out, go ahead and get into the number 2 lane. This is the lane that we want to be in as we maneuver the overpass. Continue straight through this intersection, which is Vista Way, and proceed onto the overpass. Stay in your lane. Now turn right from this lane. You are now on Hacienda Drive, and stay in the left lane. And as you can see, you are perfectly positioned now to make the left turn onto Melrose Drive. Make the left turn. There are 2 stops along this block that service the Vista Courthouse. We used to drive through the courthouse parking lot to service it, but it is too dangerous in there to make the U-turn to get back out. So at this time, just continue straight on Melrose past the courthouse. Stay in this right lane even though it wants to merge left. There's another stop just at the merge. Once past this stop, go ahead and merge left and continue on Melrose. We'll jump ahead. This big intersection is Longhorn Drive, and that is the Rancho Buena Vista High School on the right. Here is a time stop. Pull over, check your time, and never leave a time stop early, as many passengers will arrive at the last minute. Pull out when safe. It's not part of the normal route, but there is a 332 school tripper that services Rancho Buena Vista High School. I'm going to go ahead and run through the tripper just so you know how it runs, but be aware that it's not part of this regular route. So continue straight to this next intersection, which is Shadow Ridge, turn right. This turn can be tight if cars are waiting to turn left, so position yourself toward the left and go slow. You'll have more room if you take it slow. Rock and roll, make sure that crosswalk is clear, and turn sharply once your shoulder is even with the right curb. We're still on Shadow Ridge. This is the Rancho Buena Vista Park, or the Duck Pond as it's locally known, on the left. Continue through Antigua Drive, and we continue up the hill for about a block here. This stop is Longhorn again. Turn right. We're basically squaring the block around Rancho Buena Vista High School. This is a quiet residential neighborhood, speed limit 25 miles per hour, so be considerate. You can see the high school is to our right, and here is the Rancho Buena Vista High School time stop. But let's continue up to Melrose, make a right turn, then continue on route. Now, if we were running the tripper, we'd be making a left on Melrose and heading back to Vista Transit Center. So here's Melrose. Make that right turn, be sure to rock and roll. We'll continue on Melrose. This is Shadow Ridge Drive. Continue straight, instead of making a right turn like we did before on the tripper. Now let's jump ahead to the intersection of Sycamore. Continue straight through the Sycamore intersection. There is one stop far side of Sycamore, and that is your last stop on Melrose. If a customer attempts to board without the proper fare or with an invalid pass, the operator can request the appropriate fare once, but only once, and then allow the customer to board. Operators will not engage in fare disputes. Merge left, and note that the Home Depot on the left is your landmark for the left turn. The next turn is a left turn on Park Center Drive, which is at the end of the Home Depot parking lot. Turn left on Park Center. The operator will not attempt to confront, deny service to, or eject any passenger from a coach due to a fare dispute. If a customer makes a habit of providing insufficient or no fare, the operator should contact the dispatcher, push the event button, and continue in service unless otherwise instructed. Operators are to make a reasonable attempt to collect the proper fares and valid transfers. A polite request or reminder should always be the approach. If the customer has no fare, politely tell them they may ride this time, but please have the appropriate fare the next time. Always give your customers the benefit of the doubt. Continue to this time stop, which is the Park Center Drive, Business Park Drive time stop. Make a right turn on Business Park. Distracted driving. Distracted driving is any activity that diverts your attention away from driving, including talking or texting on your phone, eating and drinking, talking to people in your vehicle, anything that takes your attention away from your driving. You cannot drive safely unless the task of driving has your full attention. Any non-driving activity you engage in is a potential distraction and increases your risk of crashing. It is required that you turn off your cell phone and stow it away. Use the LLCs to help you keep alert and updated to your surroundings. There's only one stop on Business Park, which is on the far side of Liberty. Note the Target store on the left. You can now merge left, continue up to Poinsettia. Poinsettia is fragmented all over this area, but this is the last leg. There are a few stops along Poinsettia. That is the Amazon Prime Depot on the right, Target on the left. Customer service. When dealing with customers, both internal and external, it's important to not take things personally and to not let it affect your attitude. Everybody has issues from time to time, and we need to do our best to treat others with respect. They could be dealing with something stressful that you are not aware of, and this could be the reason for their bad attitude. We always have a choice. We can choose to be friendly, patient, and accepting, or we can choose to be difficult and grumpy. The best way to make choices is to focus on the customer, on solutions, and using positive communication. Good customer service is all about making customer-centric choices. It means that you make the choice that puts the customer first. Choosing positive words instead of negative ones helps keep the customer happy and feel respected. Customers are, after all, why we do what we do. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It means putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Think about what your customer is experiencing. When you act with empathy, you are treating the customers the way they expect to, and shows that you respect them. Continue straight across Linda Vista. The next intersection will be La Mirada, which is our next left turn. The wholesale flower shop on the right is your landmark. We have a time stop right around this turn, the Poinsettia La Mirada time point. Continue on La Mirada until it intersects with Sycamore. Anticipate a right turn. Tips for making right turns. Come to a complete stop behind the limit line. Always rock and roll in your seat and check your blind spots. Look left, right, left again before making your turn. Walk your bus at 5 miles per hour around the turn. Look out for distracted pedestrians and expect the unexpected. All right, we're looking good now. Let's get ready to make a right turn on Sycamore. Continue straight on Sycamore. This cross street is Hibiscus. The far side stop is the last stop on Sycamore, and we will make a left turn on Shadow Ridge Drive. So merge left, Stater Brothers, the big 5 to the left are your landmarks. Get ready to make your left turn on Shadow Ridge. Tips for making left turns. Drivers should signal early, at least 150 feet before the intersection. Walk your bus at 5 miles per hour around the turn. Make sure crosswalks are clear before crossing. Come to a complete stop and look left, right, and left again before proceeding. Off-tracking and tail swing should be constantly monitored with mirrors. Always rock and roll in your seat and check your blind spots. When stopped, waiting for the turn, wheels should be pointing straight ahead. The Shadow Ridge Drive Watson Way time stop is here in front of the Kaiser Permanente. This gentleman looks like he's had better days. Let's move ahead and make a right turn here, which is Watson Way. Watson is one short block, then turn right on Thibodaux. Watch for the stop along here and be aware of the fire station on the right. We are back to Sycamore now. Make a left turn. After that left turn on Sycamore, we'll continue straight. We'll go under the freeway overpass. And since we have a right turn coming up on Lobelia, stay in the far right lanes. We're approaching Lobelia Drive. Make a right turn. This stop immediately to the right is actually our layover area. How can this be the layover spot if we're headed to Buena Creek, you might ask? When we get to Buena Creek, you'll see there's no room to layover unless you are in a 1900 bus. Whoever devised this part of the route was actually very clever. After this stop, continue straight on Lobelia Drive. This is a curvy, narrow, little Vista neighborhood back road here. Often pedestrians are walking along the side of the road, so be careful, take it slow. It's okay to split lanes if you need to. Activate your left blinker. And make a left on Primrose Avenue. This is a fairly dense housing area, a lot of apartments. Traffic can be busy certain times of day, so watch your speed, watch your mirrors, and don't miss this one stop on the right here. Make a right turn on Palmyra. And a left on South Santa Fe Avenue. We are now approaching the Buena Creek Sprinter Station, and we'll do two things here. First, assuming that we have a 40-foot bus, which is too big to pull into the station, we'll drop our passengers off at the curbside stop, go out of service, then go around the block to the layover area. On the second go around, we'll assume we have a 1900 series bus, which is shorter. This allows us to turn right into the Sprinter Station. Here's the curbside stop. We pull over, drop off our passengers, go out of service, continue straight through the intersection, there's going to be a left turn at Robolini. Activate your left turn signal and position yourself in the left turn lane. Rock and roll and make the turn. Let's jump ahead to our next turn, which is Lobelia Drive. We're approaching Lobelia now, and we're going to make a left turn back to the layover area. You may have 10-20 minutes before your next run starts, and this actually is a nice shady place to lay over. So here we go, we're making the left turn, and to the right, as you can see, is our layover area. And when it's time to start your route, you go around the block again, pick passengers up at the curbside, then run your route as normal. But this time around, we'll assume we're in a 1900 series bus, which will allow us to turn right into the Sprinter Station. So let's go around the block. We'll make our left on Primrose, our right on Palmyra, and then our left on South Santa Fe. We're now approaching the Sprinter Station. And again, we're assuming that we have a 1900 series bus, so we'll be turning right into the station. The parking lot is normally full, so be careful as you maneuver through here. Make a U-turn at the end of the parking lot. You'll see the bus stop on the right. Lay over here. When it's time to leave, make a left turn here. And a right here. And then a right turn back onto South Santa Fe. So proceed with caution. It's a lot to clear here. You have cars merging into the right turn only lane. There's cars coming in from the right side of the intersection, cars turning in front of you, the train's off to the right. So look ahead, look around, leave room, and communicate. And here we are again, making our left turn on Robolini Drive. We'll jump ahead to the Lobelia intersection, but instead of turning left back to the layover, we'll service this stop on the right, and then continue straight through the intersection and back to normal routing. We are now on the 332 westbound, and we're retracing our steps, so let's jump through the turns and the time points quickly just to see what they look like coming from the other direction. Continue straight under the 78 freeway. We're on Sycamore making a right onto Thibodaux, so make that right turn. Not all paddles will take you through this Thibodaux neighborhood. I'm mixing up the paddles a little bit, but it's good to see all parts of this route. And your daily paddle will let you know specifically what route you're on. Here's our left turn on Watson. Here's our left turn on Shadowridge Drive. Have a time point to the right. Make a right back onto Sycamore. Note that there is a stop here in front of the gas station to the right. Let's jump ahead to La Mirada. We'll make the left turn back onto La Mirada. Continue up the hill. And here is a La Mirada, Poinsettia, time stop. This is Poinsettia up ahead, so prepare for a right turn. We'll make the right on Poinsettia. Poinsettia goes straight through to Business Park. So we'll jump ahead and make that right turn on Business Park Drive. You can see the targets are up there on the right. That's your landmark. We're approaching Park Center Drive. We'll make that left turn on Park Center. And remember, the Business Park Drive, Park Center Drive, time point is just around the corner to the right. And at the end of Park Center is Melrose, of course. So we'll make a right turn. Home Depot on the right is your landmark. Melrose is a long road running north and south across North County. Let's jump ahead to the highlights. This big intersection is Sycamore. Continue straight. And we have Rancho Buena Vista High School, which is actually the Melrose Longhorn time point. Okay, let's jump all the way to the end of the road. We are now back to Hacienda. Be aware of this last stop on Melrose next to the Islands restaurant. Then make the right turn back onto Hacienda and go ahead and turn into the left lane. There should be no cars turning with you on your left, but check your mirrors to make sure. As you can see, the right turn is a turn-only lane onto the 78 eastbound. This left lane positions you perfectly to continue across the overpass back to the transit station. As you turn left here, you can get into either one of these straight-ahead lanes. The left lane jams up at Vista Way sometimes, and you may have to wait. The right lane bypasses that jam, but eventually you have to merge left to get into the transit center. So depending on traffic, you make the call. This is Vista Way coming up. It's starting to pack up a little bit now, but the traffic's not bad this time of day. You want to get ready to merge left now. Here we are approaching Olive. Make the left turn back into the Vista Transit Center, and if you are early, allow the passengers to disembark in the first few stalls. Vista is a busy center, so keep your speed down. Speed limit's 5 miles per hour. Watch for pedestrian traffic. We'll be ending our route in stall number 6. Providing the highest level of safety for all of our MV employees, passengers, and the communities we serve is our core operating value. Safety is at the forefront of delivering the best customer experience and is the first of our key components of successful performance. MV, thanks you for your service. Now be safe out there. It's a great day to drive.